Welcome interns. Welcome to USELC. I'm Hannah Kim. I am a staff member, director of USELC. And up first is the little welcome message from our Chief of Staff, Jessica King.
Hi everyone, my name is Jessica King. I am the Chief of Staff of USELC. I am here to congratulate everyone for being here. This is a very competitive program with, getting accepted. So you guys should be really proud of yourselves to be here today.
How you doing? My name is Ron Regan. I interviewed many of you, and I've been involved with the program from the very beginning. I was asked as a state investigator, which is my former job, to come here to talk to you 12 years ago, and I just never left. So you're going to find during this program, the goal that I have is to teach you what you don't learn in school. Example, the Attorney General for the state of New Jersey. He's the top law enforcement person in charge of every police department, every prosecutor's office, all the courts. Everything reports to the Attorney General, and he comes here to greet you. You never have a chance to ever walk up to him because he has state police that protect him. But here you can walk up, you can take a picture with him, you can be greeted with him.
So up next is a video by USELC, kind of like a brief
I think it's something to wonder what he is. I would think anyway, I'll introduce you every time I come. So, right, here's the always happy to love you, but that's an officer, right? I guess the word is that all this is awesome.
So first is personal development. Here at USELC, you guys are going to get every month, you guys are going to be doing these essays, and these are kind of chances as to where you can develop your writing skills. I know you guys are in high school, so I'm pretty sure you guys are going to be practicing your writing skills in high school during your English writing classes. However, here at USELC, you guys are just going to practice some more. With these monthly meetings as well, you guys are going to be also presenting, where you guys are going to practice public speaking. So right now what I am doing is public speaking. You guys are going to be standing up here, talking about your essay, like the topic essay, and speak. And you guys are also going to develop your professional demeanor, meaning instead of being all casual with your friends, here at USELC, you guys are just going to kind of learn how to act in a professional environment, because you guys will be meeting all these special guests where, as you guys know, respect is kind of important, and you guys are just going to practice how you guys can interact with very important people. And then for the volunteer, at the end of the program, we have a presidential award. We'll go into detail about that in a later slide. And then, as Ron said, networking. Again, networking is a very important part of USELC. Here you guys can meet many special guests working in multiple different fields. So on the video, you guys saw like special agents, you guys saw the Attorney General, the Assemblyman. But here, you guys can also possibly meet people in very different fields that's not just law enforcement. Like Ron said, you guys can get internships through this program. Like, for example, for me, I got my internship with Assemblyman Robert Off from this program. So you guys can, this program kind of like opens a lot of doors for future internships. It can just help build your resume, build kind of like your work ethic for future careers. And through this program as well, you guys can get recommendation letters for college. I'm pretty sure your guys' parents really want you to go to college. So in this program, you guys can achieve many different kinds of recommendation letters. You guys can get recommendation letters from Ron. You guys can get recommendations letters from whoever Ron knows, or even the special guests personally themselves. All you gotta do is just ask and kind of put yourself out there. And then finally, exposure to law enforcement. As you guys know, USLC stands for the United States Law Enforcement Coalition. So more often or not, you guys are going to be interacting with like various different kinds of law enforcement, like the FBI, CIA, ATF, Homeland Security. It just really depends on who we invite and where we go for these field trips. And at USELC, we try our best to be a very comfortable environment where you guys can connect with these special guests, where you guys can feel safe to do so, and in order to like find something that resonates with you guys, something that kind of like piques your interest. Like, for example, we had an intern here who got into the National Guard because of this program. They got like very interested and got into the National Guard as a result. Supporters, trustees, and senior advisors. I mentioned Robert Kluger. He's actually our biggest supporter with being the MC in every meeting. I'm pretty sure you guys will be meeting him in the September meeting where he'll be doing MC. So that's a face you guys are going to be seeing a lot. We also have other supporters like Chief Fossell, Judge Chris Balter, Mayor White. And as always, we have Ron Reagan, who's been here for mostly every single meeting. He's our biggest supporter, and as I always said, and I've already said it again, helps many students with networking. He's a very integral part of USLC. and I'm sure you guys saw in the video, we have Special Agent Jennings, Tom Masters, and Executive Director Nick Germano. So once you complete your internship, these are the kind of goals we kind of like wish you guys achieve. For example, coming back to USELC to serve on the student council. Behind you, your coordinators, your captains, and ambassadors, they were also in your guys' shoes. They were interns, and they came back to continue to give them to continue to give us their support. So I really hope that you guys also come back for the next year and give us your guys' support. We also have some graduates from USELC to come back as special guests, they kind of like serve as a mentor or even give a speech about their time at USELC. Now again, we've done this program for 12 years now, you guys being the 12th year. We've done this program for 12 years now, so we have like a bunch of graduates that we hope to come back and kind of give their point of view of USELC and what they kind of achieved because of it. And I really hope after you guys graduate from USELC, you guys also come back and kind of give you points of the future generation. And also, while you're at USELC, we kind of hope you guys build relationships. For example, becoming friends with other interns, talking with the student council, kind of developing a bond. Like Jessica said, kind of coming to a staff, building a bond there, and building a bond with special guests. These bonds are essentially what networking is. You guys are sitting together. I'm pretty sure some of you guys were talking to each other during dinner earlier, so that's also networking. So I really hope you guys kind of like continue doing that throughout your time at USELC. Up next is the yearly schedule. Now, note this is subject to change. So if anything happens, this will get updated. Now, this is already on Canvas. Up next is the student council chart. Now, as you can see, we have 4 captains, 9 coordinators, and 8 ambassadors. The captains, they're pretty much us. They're going to be working with the staff and working on the newsletter. Coordinators, they're your guys' mentors. So each of you is going to get assigned to a coordinator, and that coordinator is kind of like your rock in this program. Because they were you before the previous year, they kind of have some experience as to where they can share with you guys and kind of direct you as to what to do. Ambassadors, they kind of just evaluate your presentations. So you guys are being graded on your essays and presentations. The ambassadors are in charge of evaluating your presentations. Again, Dave will go over what's expected of you guys. And finally, you guys. As I said before, you guys are in charge of writing your essays and creating presentations for each monthly meeting we do. And also, this is just a note for the student council that is here. Captains and ambassadors, you guys are in charge of kind of like setting the entire meeting room up. So if you guys can come maybe like an hour early. So usually we start at 6:30, so come like around 5:30. So as I said before, interns, these are the coordinators you guys are going to be assigned to. For example, Alvin Lim has 2 interns, Edward Kang and Joshua Moon. We do have the Presidential Volunteer Service Award. There's 3 different levels, gold, silver, bronze. Your guys' goal is to aim for gold, because that's just the best. And if you guys come to every meeting, come to every field trip, participate in the volunteer program, you guys will be able to make it to the Presidential Award. However, that's also not, just doing that is not also enough. You guys also have to do really well on your essays and presentation, because that can kind of account towards your hours. along with the presidential award, we have a couple of special awards. For example, the New Jersey Assembly Accommodation Award, the Senator Consequential Award, and then our award, the USELC Scholarship Award. Now, these awards are kind of really quick. It kind of proves you guys went above and beyond and did your utmost best to achieve these awards. So we have what's called the golden standard. We have the monthly essays, which after doing research, possibly reading a book, reading multiple online sources, or even viewing videos, and then completing the essay assignment can all account to around 112 hours. Now this is what I mean by just attending to any kind of event is not enough. We also account for you guys' essay, because you guys are spending a lot of these hours researching and making these essays the best of your abilities. We're not expecting it to be perfect. You guys are just in high school, so we're not expecting like college scholar levels. Just doing your best is enough. Again, Dave will explain as to what is kind of expected of you guys because you're in high school though. We also have for the presentation, you guys have to complete your presentation hours. You guys are going to be presenting twice the rest of the entire year, so you gotta make sure you guys attend. And participation and the debate, again, is just monthly attendance, making sure you're showing up on time. We have the field trips and then the volunteer opportunities. Now, the volunteer opportunity, we have the Milal program, which is just helping the disabled community. And you guys are going to be doing that as for your volunteer hours. We also have election campaigns, volunteering in various nursing homes, hospitals, senior centers, or even more. And other opportunities like interviews with special guests and even ride-alongs with the police department. So we'll always give you guys opportunities to reach the golden standard. You guys just have to be able to take them. Don't try to be like, oh, I can't go because of X, Y, and Z. Try your best to take these opportunities because you never know what can happen. Like you could be missing a meeting because of an emergency, but you have to make up that hour. Now, other than that, we have the scholarship eligibility, which just kind of gives you guys a brief overview as to how you guys can obtain scholarship. We don't give the scholarship to everybody. We only give it to about 6 to 8 students. And we account for like their attendance, were they on time, were they late? Did you guys do well in your essays? Did you improve from the first time you did it? Did you not improve? We look into that. We look into your presentations. Were you guys very prepared? Your volunteer, like how much hours you put into volunteering? Did you put in a lot of work to it? Your general attitude, so like how was your attitude towards staff? How was your attitude towards your peers, special guests? We kind of look into that. You might not think it, but we do kind of like look into this, like what is your attitude towards other people? And just like your general responsiveness. So we kind of like send out announcements and emails where we expect you guys to respond, so that way we know you guys saw the announcement or the email. If we don't get a response from you, we're assuming you did not see the announcements or email, or just outright ignoring it. And that's not good, because the announcements or emails we post are very important for like future events, future attendance, emergency, last minute changes. Because again, the program that I showed you guys earlier, that's not set in stone. It can change depending on the conditions. Following rules, we do have a set guideline for USELC. Up here is just kind of like the main pointers of rules that we want you guys to follow. There's going to be more rules on Canvas. This is just kind of like the main point. So for example, you guys have to submit your essays. If you guys miss even one essay submission, that's going to count for you interns as a penalty. If you get enough penalties, warnings, strikes, you guys are going to be out of this program. We don't want that. You guys do not want that. Your parents don't want that. So you guys have to make sure you guys don't do anything that can get you guys these strikes. Because if you guys get kicked out, it's a waste of your time, it's a waste of your parents' time, money, and it's just nobody's gonna be happy in that situation. So this also goes for late essay submissions. So I do have a deadline for essay submissions to be 10 p.m. I give you guys like a 5-minute window, but that you guys have to submit by 10 p.m. of the date posted. So you have like 2 different submissions, probably 3. So we have sending your draft to your coordinators. They just kind of like take a glance, maybe give a few pointers. It's up to you guys if you want to take those pointers or not, but you guys have to give your essays to your coordinators just so that way you guys can say, oh, I gave my draft to my coordinator, and the coordinator gives it back. Second submission, got it right. 2 submissions. So that was the first one. The second one is your final draft. So either you take the advice of your coordinator or you don't. It is entirely up to you. You guys are going to be formatting however the essay you want, like changing the essay or not change it, whatever, and submitting that final version onto Canvas in the assignment. You guys have to submit that on time. You guys have to submit essays. Not showing up to your presentation date. Now that's something we hope is not going to happen. You guys have to show up your presentation date because we have a set amount of people each month to present. We can't keep changing it or flipping it because then that wouldn't be fair for the person that has to replace you guys because they won't be prepared. They won't know if the other person won't show up and now they have nothing to present. So you guys have to show up on the days you guys are presenting. And even if you're not presenting, you guys have to show up to each monthly meeting. This also includes your parents or guardian. It can just be one parent, one guardian, but your guys' guardian and parent has to show up along with you. It cannot just be you guys. You and your parent have to show up and stay there for the entire duration of the meeting. So you guys can't just come in and then dip early, all right? Because it won't be fair to the other people who's like staying here for like 3 hours, meeting these special guests, listening to their peers present. It's not fair to them, and you guys would also miss out some opportunities. Now, this is something that we are kind of going to make it mandatory. Emailing the special guest each month a thank you and a little picture of you posing by the special guest. Now, it's just a way for you to open the door to the world of networking. Kind of like having them remember who you are, like why you're reaching out. It's a good like little stepping ground for networking if you're interested in continuing contacting that person. It all starts with a little email, text message, phone call, or even a little hi, being like, I met you at X, Y, and Z. It's up to you guys to continue that, but we do mandatorize you guys at least contact each special guest at least once each month. And now our dress code. We are not counting dress codes for today, but by next meeting, by September, you guys would have your uniforms. Because during your DC trip, you guys are getting your uniforms. We expect you guys to be wearing your uniform at all times at each and every USELC meeting, which involves a hoodie, the USELC hoodie, the USELC polo shirt and beige khaki pants and sneakers. Anything else is not acceptable. So for example, who's willing to be my example here? Dave, do you want to be my example? So Dave, he didn't get a uniform yet, but for example, let's say he did. He's wearing all this, no USELC uniform. This all counts as a penalty. He needs to have khaki pants, sneakers, or even dress shoes, and the USELC shirt, and in our case for staff, the USELC jacket. This is just because we mandatoриze uniforms, and it's just better. So try your best to keep having khaki pants, the USELC hoodie and shirts, and closed-toed shoes like sneakers. We don't accept sandals, slippers, any of that sorts. Also, while you guys are on your DC trip, you guys will be receiving name tags. We want you to bring these to every single meeting, all right? You guys cannot forget these at home. I know maybe you guys are in a flurry rush, but you guys have to bring every single part of your uniform. The name tag, shirt, hoodie, khaki pants, and sneakers or dress shoes. We will be counting what you guys are missing. That will be counted as a penalty. Even if you're missing one, it will be counted as a penalty. Adding that up, you guys are out of the program. There's only so many chances that you guys can get, all right? Facial piercings. Now, I haven't seen this as an issue in my personal case. Maybe it has been, I do not know. But we do not allow facial piercings. So that means lip piercing, eyebrow piercing, nose piercing, cheek piercing, whatever piercing on the face. Understandable? Because this is an area where professionalism is kind of required here. So just having a facial piercing kind of makes it difficult to pertain that professionalism. Romantic relationships. We prohibit that completely. There is absolutely no dating allowed in USELC. I get it, you guys have a personal life, you guys want to make friends, but do not date because it makes people either uncomfortable, upset, and just overall an awkward atmosphere. Again, our goal at USELC is to make it a comfortable space. If something like dating makes it uncomfortable, we have to ban it. We have to make sure it doesn't happen because it just makes things worse. It doesn't make things better. So there's no dating allowed. I'm saying it right now because if caught dating, there's going to be a talk. There's going to be a long, awkward talk, and I'm pretty sure you guys do not want to sit through that. So just no dating, don't date your peers, don't date student council, just keep it platonic, keep it as friends. So here's an example for the dress code. This is what you guys would honestly be wearing. Beige khaki pants, that's what your guys' shirt and hoodie's gonna wear. When it gets warmer, I don't expect you guys to wear hoodies. I really don't, but at the very least try to bring your hoodies. Right? I don't expect you to wear them during the summer or whenever the warm climate happens. Just bring it along. It just makes the whole entire process easier. So we have the presentation, direction, and evaluation. Again, there's 2 presentations total expected from you guys. We do expect you guys to have it as an original work. So no AI involved. I get it, you guys are students, you guys don't want to do the work probably, but please do not use any AI. It's an unfair thing for your peers who's doing like hours and hours of research, and then you go up and just ask, hey, ChatGPT, how do I answer this? No, if we catch you doing AI, you guys are possibly risking the fact that you will be terminated from the program. I'm pretty sure in high school there is an academic honesty rule you guys have in high school, yeah? This also goes for college. If you guys are caught cheating, you guys are just given a 0. Even worse, probably expelled. So we want to just kind of like prepare you for that, and also is to make sure you guys are doing this honestly, because we are all about honesty. So make sure you guys are thoroughly prepared for your presentation. Now, I did find this an issue last year. Don't just read your essay. Don't put in a tiny box of tiny little words of your entire essay up there. Don't do that. Your audience can read. You can read. It's boring. So in the presentation, just put little bullet points, like here. Put little bullet points. Put the main points in each little slide. It's about 5-minute presentation. Put little bullet points, not entire paragraphs, not entire sentences. So as you guys can tell, I'm not always looking down. I'm kind of like looking around you guys, making eye contact. That's kind of what expected of you guys. And that's the thing that I found difficult when you guys are just reading word for word what's on your index card, what's on the slides. You guys are not making eye contact, not kind of like talking to the audience. You're more likely just talking to a piece of paper or your phone. So because of that, we don't allow index cards anymore. Whatever you have to say should be memorized. Or even use the main points if you get lost. Look up there, see where you're at, use the main points. Maybe like this long or even this long. However long, just not entire sentences or paragraphs, please. Thank you. So again, these presentations are being graded. So if we see you guys bringing up a phone, and we suspect you guys just reading off the entire thing, it's going to be counted towards your grade, and it's not going to be a beneficial thing. So other than the presentation, I did say we will have Dave go over what's expected of you for the essay.
Good evening. My name is David White, or you can call me Dave, short for a nickname. You guys most likely and most definitely have learned or seen MLA formatting. If not, you will learn it in school at least once. So just as a quick, brief reminder, or we're just going to go over it real quick. So for now, MLA standard for here in most schools around Bergen County stands for Modern Language Association. So this is going to be the 9th revision or edition that I remember, following the Purdue University OWL or online writing program that they have. So if you have any more questions or anything online, you can just look it up, Google it, and they tell you step by step everything. But majority, you should already know like 90% of this. The main things I wanted to go over is formatting. So 8.5 inch to 11, that's just regular standard printer paper. If you are printing this, most of the time, like she said, you're going to be submitting it online. So double spacing for everything. I'm gonna have a mock or an image in the next slide, so we'll go over it together. But for now, double spaced, 12-point font for everything, and Times New Roman, okay? So margins, I'll show you in a bit, but 1 inch for spacing on the sides and the top, and then half for the indentation. Header, so for the header, on the top right hand of the page is going to be your last name and the page count. So the total number of pages for each page, it'll go in chronological order. I'll tell you how you can set that up in 1 second. And then citations. So like she said, it's going to be either a speech or an interview that you've had, books, or even a video. So citations, we need to put the author's name or the video, and then where you got it from to quote them. Other than that, the last page is your works cited. That's where you have all the information of where it's going to refer back to from where you cited it from. So, for the first page, it's going to be the top left, your name. It's going to be the list or course or program. And then the date on the bottom. I'm going to show you guys in a second again. But for this, pretty self-explanatory. I'm pretty sure you learned most of it, and we will see it right now. So this is just a mock-up that I made. So your name, and then let's see. For the double spacing, it's going to be everything. Top right arrows pointing at your last name, only your last name, and the page count. For page count, I'm pretty sure for both programs, for Word and for Google, if you're going to use Google Docs, there's an insert tab on the top left. If you go on the bottom, page number. It's right there. It's really easy. And then after that, title centered right in the middle, right after, no spaces, no extra spaces. And then the half inch with the indent for every new paragraph. So for quotes and citations, like I said before, we're going to have the author and then where you got it from. This is just an example. I took this from a previous essay as I didn't have any topic to kind of make one up at the moment. And then the works cited page at the end. It's going to begin with the title. It's this. The spacing is a little different, but double space for everything, as in the indentation. It's going to be first close up to the line, and then every other line is going to be indented. I'm going to show you a example right here, and it has to be in alphabetical order. Most of this you learn or will use in school for printed papers and everything, so it should be a little refresher. The only thing different for the previous students was the header. But other than that, little brief rundown shouldn't be too bad, and if there's any more questions, I recommend the Purdue University guideline for MLA. All right? Thank you.
Canvas. Now, Canvas is everything. This is where you guys are most of the time going to get your information. Most of the time getting announcements, knowing what you're doing for essays, presentation, just where you're going to get everything. This is also where you guys are going to be submitting your essays. Now, prior to this meeting, I sent out all the invitations. So interns, you guys can check later. You guys should have gotten an email. Parents, you guys should also have gotten an email pertaining an invite to Canvas. Now, if I remember correctly, with Canvas, you gotta just open the email, log in, or just follow the steps. And I believe it goes step by step, so it's an easy login. So it should be fairly simple as to what to do to log in. I really want you guys to be in Canvas before you guys leave. So student counselors, it's not your first rodeo. Just answer the email, do what you gotta do. Make sure you guys are in the 12th group Canvas before you guys leave. This goes for you guys too, because on the announcement, I will post your guys' first essay topic. Now, you guys won't be getting it until like September when we actually first have that official meeting. But it's really important you guys are in Canvas. It's very important, and it saves so much trouble in miscommunication. For example, what if you go, oh my god, I don't know the essay topic, and I don't have access to Canvas. You guys are screwed. Like, I can't even sugarcoat it. If you do not have Canvas, you guys can't submit your essay, you guys can't know any emergency information, and you're just screwed until you get access to Canvas. So again, before you guys leave, make sure you have access to Canvas. If you think you don't have access to Canvas, come to me. I was the one that sent out these invitations through your guys' emails. So if for some reason you guys just didn't get the invitation or just do not know how to log into Canvas, come to me and I'll guide through you step by step, or I'll even do it for you guys. Just give me your phone or whatever. Just make sure you guys have Canvas installed on your phone. Alright? And also, if you really guys have like any issues whatsoever, contact your coordinator. If you, for some reason, can't get into contact your coordinator, contact me, contact Dave, contact Jessica, contact anyone on staff. Just don't wait last minute to the point where we can't do anything about it. The sooner you guys tell us about something, the better. That we can work around and we can do our best to help you guys. We're not here to to give you guys a hard time. We're here to help you. We're here to give you guys chances. But we can't give you guys chances if you don't tell us issues, if you don't tell us any problems you guys think you're going to face throughout your entire program here.
All right, before we begin, I just want to take this opportunity to welcome every one of you. At the same time, I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce myself. So my name is John Kim. I am one of the directors at USELC. And as for my full-time job, I actually run a college consulting company. So since 2004, I've been helping high school students like you to get into dream colleges. And as of now, I have over 2,000 high school students, including New York City, Jersey, Connecticut, Maryland, Massachusetts. And just wanted to do a quick presentation on how USLC program can help you stand out. Right? Because I think it's very important that you guys understand the context of this program and also how this program would help you in college application. Because after all, you guys will be here for next 10 months, right? And you guys will be spending a lot of time. So I think it's important to understand how this program could help you boost your chances to get into your dream colleges. So before we begin, I'm going to ask a few questions. So if you're a freshman, can you raise your hand if you're a freshman? Okay. 4 people, okay. Sophomore? Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Juniors? Okay. Okay. Seniors? Okay. 2. Okay. All right. So there's got to be a reason why you guys are here today, right? And I'm assuming some of you guys are compelled by your parents to be here, and maybe it's through referrals from your friends, families. But I understand, the fact that you guys are here today, there must be a reason, right? So I want to ask you a few people. So I'm going to just call out a few students, and I actually happened to met Edward today in the back. Where's Edward? Okay, well, can you stand up? Can you tell me why you were here? What do you want to get out of this program?
I just want to learn more networking and just more about law enforcement.
Okay, networking, law enforcement. Okay. Is Un Huang Hong here? Is it here? Yeah.
I just want to build more leadership skills for any colleges I want to do.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. All right. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. What about Joshua? Joshua. Okay.
I joined to get better at public speaking and improve my networking, I guess.
Okay. All right. What about Youngju? Okay. Youngju, you're what? Junior?
I joined so I can improve my public speaking and, of course, get new friends. Of course, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Good. Let me ask one more student. What about Yuna? Okay. You're chosen. Here you go.
I'm an only child, so I wanted to meet mentors and become a mentor myself so I can help others.
So I know many of you are here because, whether it's through your parents, like I said, referral from your families and friends, or you guys chose to be here. I think it's important to understand how you could benefit from this program. Because again, you're going to be here for next 10 months. You're going to be spending a lot of time writing essays, doing presentation, doing a lot of things. And I think it's really important to understand how, again, you could benefit from this program. And I want to look at college admission in the context of game. Okay, so I think it's important to understand how college admission games play, because just like any other games, right? How many of you play sports? Can you raise your hand if you play sports? Okay. What kind of sports do you play? Soccer. Okay. What about you? Soccer. Okay. What about you? Okay. So, what's the first thing that you guys do when you first play sports? Learn about the rules, right? Right. So whether you play soccer, tennis, or football, the first thing that you do is you need to understand the rule, right? Because without understanding the rule, you can never win the game. All right. So you need to understand the game to create plan, strategies, and timeline. All right. So let me ask you a few questions to see if you guys really understand college admission game. All right, because I see that a lot of you are rising juniors and seniors. So I think it's very important that you guys understand how college application process work. All right. So who was a senior? What's your name?
Eugene.
Eugene. Okay, Eugene. So what is the most important section of the college application, you think?
The essays.
Okay. That's not application. Okay, well, yeah, that could be one of them, but I'm talking about college application itself. Let's take out essays for a second. What is the important section?
Extracurriculars.
Okay. Can you be more specific?
Like which hobbies, what clubs you do, what sports you do, what instruments you play.
Okay. So I think that's very important, what you just said, because activity section provides the best opportunity to showcase your extracurricular involvement and unique experiences beyond grades, allowing you to stand out from other applicants. So I think one thing that you guys could benefit from participating in USELC internship, this is a great opportunity, right? Not just to be able to, the presentation writing essay, but beyond that, what I want to add what Ron said. You guys could meet with a lot of amazing people through this monthly meeting. All right, whether it's judge, whether it's state attorney or assemblyman, there's going to be great people here, all right? And this is a great place for you to learn and also use it as a platform to advance. So meaning you guys are or interns right now, but we have captains, ambassadors, and a coordinator, right? So if you could, stay at USELC for 2-3 years, this could be, definitely an activity that you could put it on your top 5 list in your college application, right? Because what colleges are looking for is your involvement and investment. All right. So I think it's important that if you really like this program, I think it would be great if you could continue to stick with this and continue your involvement with USELC. So let me ask you another question. How many activities can you include in your application? Any juniors? Okay. 10? Yeah. False. You could include 10, but there's additional information sections, right? So if you guys are aiming for top 20 top schools, most students would have beyond 10 activities, right? So yes, you need to have 10 solid extracurricular activities, but most students are aiming for top 20 schools. I would say they have over 15, 20, sometimes 25. So more is not always better. What I'm trying to say is, I think it's important that you start think about what kind of extracurricular activities and what kind of internship, what kind of extracurricular activities and volunteer activities you want to involve in. Why? Because how you spend your time defines who you are. All right. So starting freshman, sophomore, even juniors. I mean, it's not too late for you guys to start looking for extracurricular activities, volunteer activities, even start your own projects as a junior. That's definitely possible, right? And another question: how many honors can you include in your college application, Eugene?
I'm not sure.
Anyone? How many honors? Anyone? Who's Edward, my buddy? Edward, guess. 15? No. Anyone? Okay.
5.
Yeah, what's your name? Sarah? Yeah, good job. All right, so you could include 5 honors and awards, right? So that's including any academic awards and service awards, right? So what I want to challenge you today is, are you working towards receiving any awards? All right, so whether it's academic awards, service awards, or it could be any awards, but you cannot leave that a section blank if you want to get into your dream colleges, all right? So today, I want to challenge you with this phrase. Failing to plan is planning to fail. And based on my 20 years of experience, I see that a lot of students, they plan to fail. Why? Because they don't have any plans. So now is a good time for you to start to think about whether you have a plan. All right? Because the fact that you don't have a plan, it means you have no goal. If you have no goal, what does that mean? That's the evidence that you have no plan. All right? So now is a good time, whether freshman, sophomore, junior, even rising seniors, I think it's important that you guys will start thinking about whether you guys have a plan. All right? Because a lot of you might have, I have this hope that everything will turn out well. But hope is not a plan. Right? You might hope for something, but if you don't do anything about it, nothing's going to happen, right? So I think it's very important that you start thinking about how you win this college application game. So, again, I'm gonna look into college application process in the context of game. So I think it's very important that we understand how college admission games play, right? So these are facts, okay? So in the United States, there are about 26,000 high schools in the US. All right, so if you do the math, there will be 26,727 valedictorians. There will be 26,727 class presidents. All right. On top of that, roughly there are about over 20,000 students who score over 1,500 SAT. And also 1,400 SAT, we're talking about 118,000. All right. And new research showed that 47% of high school graduates last year with an A average. All right. So you might think that, John, I have an 8 average. Well, so does 47 other seniors graduating every year, right? And unfortunately, New York and New Jersey have the highest national merit semifinalist cutoff. That means even if you do well on PSAT, if you don't get 1490 or 1500, you probably won't be qualified for national merit semifinalists. Whereas if you are from Missouri, let's say you got 1450, then you probably qualify for national merit semifinalists. And New York and New Jersey are the most academically challenging states. About 40% of classes are filled by OA applications. So it's important that you guys are prepared. All right. So I do some of seniors. How many seniors again? Yeah, seniors. Okay. So you guys will be applying to college through ED, right? And if you think you're prepared, I think you should definitely take advantage of ED. All right. But if you think you're not prepared, it might be better to wait, right? Right? Because you still have September, October, November, December to prepare, right? And apply during regular decision, because in early decision poll, you're going to be competing with the top students, right? Students who are prepared, all right? So I think you need to be very strategic, whether you should apply ED or not. And let's look at NYU's, admitted students profile. So most top 10% of the class and mid-50 SAT score between 1470 to 1570. This is not IB, this is NYU. So we think that, if you want to get into the IBs, you have to be top 10%, but it's not IBs anymore. So the gap between IBs and top 20, top 30, there's not much gap anymore. And I will tell you what makes a student stand out and what you must have in order to get into top choice school beyond your strong academics. All right? Because if you spend most of your time studying and going to SAT Hagwon to study for SAT test, most likely you won't probably get into top choice school. And let's look at Boston stats. Class of 2021 acceptance rate, 32%, but in 2023, what is it? 27%, and class of 2027, 14.7%. All right, and 95% ranked in the top 10%. So again, let's understand the game of college admission. All right, so let's look at the timeline. All right, so you might think that, oh, since I'm a freshman, I don't need to do anything. That's not true. You know, I have students who are freshmen, they already published research paper, and they're actually working on another research paper this summer. So you think that, oh, I'm at Berkeley County, I have OA average, I'm doing well. But you need to understand, there are students who start their application process from here. All right, so if you're a freshman, don't think that you have another year to slack off. It's not true. If you're a sophomore, you still have a lot of time, all right? But you need to start something now, all right? Because when it comes to college application process, it's never too early to prepare, right? So by sophomore year, yes, you need to start studying for SAT, and also you need to make sure that you are engaged in meaningful extracurricular activities and meaningful activities like USELC, and also you guys need to engage in meaningful volunteer activities, all right? And then by the end of sophomore year, you will need to narrow down your academic interests. Why? Because by the end of sophomore year, whatever you do should align with your academic interests. All right? Because you shouldn't spend your time wasting on something that you're not passionate about. So Edward, I was talking to Edward before. Where's Edward? Edward. So Edward is interested in science. And I told him, Edward, you need to be specific. Within science, there are pre-med, natural science, biochem, chemistry, physics, and there are engineering, even engineering. There are mechanical engineering, civil engineering, computer science, environmental engineering, material science. There's so many different fields, right? So I was getting advised to rising sophomore Edward, you have to start thinking about what you are genuinely interested in and pursue that. All right. And if you're interested in science, go for it. Meaning, you should, join at least 40% of your extracurricular activity should be stimulated, right? Because again, if you're not interested in other than science, you should not wasting your time, right? Because college application process is not a checkup box where, I have to do model UN, I have to do FBL to get into top school. That's not true, right? So starting, sophomore, you need to think about, the major you're interested in. And starting junior year, who are juniors right now? Junior, raise your hand. Yeah, juniors? This is it. All right, don't wander around. All right, you need to pick two majors. All right, you need to pick two majors and make sure your extracurricular activities, all the activities you do outside of school, inside of school, align with your major. Because college application, it's all about providing evidence. Right? If you're interested in business, they want to see your leadership skill. They want to see your creativity. They want to see, whether you have your own business. All right. So that's very, very important. Okay. And for seniors, you still have time, right? So for seniors, the only thing you can do right now is what? With GPA, there's nothing to do, right? But for seniors, essay is the only factor that you could, you have control over, right? So you have to spend time working on your essay, all right? And most importantly, create a cohesive story throughout your application. All right, so don't spend 1 or 2 hours on your application before you submit the application. All right, usually I spend about 50, 70 hours reviewing, reading, editing, activity section. All right, and that's it. So seniors, I highly recommend you guys SAT. I mean, yes, you could still take SAT, but essay is where you should spend more time on. And again, continuing on, understanding admission game, right? College admission game. So if you look at the acceptance rate from class of 2020 to class of 2028, right? So let's look at Harvard. It used to be 5.3, now is 3.6. Let's look at Brown. It used to be 5%, now is 5%. Let's look at Cornell. Cornell used to be around 14%, now it's 8%. And by the time you guys apply to college, I expect these numbers to go down. Keep on with that. Right? So, it's very, very difficult, right? Not just IBs, but any top 20 colleges to get in. Top 25, top 30 schools are very, very difficult. And it's not just IBs anymore. Let's look at NYU Northeastern. Northeastern, as you know, looking at acceptance rate 5.2, right? And UCLA 9%, BU 10%. So even like these top 30, 40 schools, we're looking at acceptance rate of single digit. Right? Again, the gap between IBs and top 30, 40 school, there's not much gap anymore. All right. So I'm going to skip the next slide. And the takeaway here is college admission have increasingly competitive in recent years. And you can stand out even with strong GPA and test scores. And this is what a lot of Asian American students concentrate on, right? You guys focus heavily on maintaining strong GPA test scores, right? But there are no, and also there are no boundaries between IBs and top 20, top 30 school, right? Oftentimes, the difference between who gets in, who doesn't, is very slim, right? And most importantly, you need to start thinking about college process early as possible to stay competitive in the game and gain advantage, right? Therefore, it is important to understand what colleges value, and as this will be key building in your profile to win this game. All right. So we talked about extracurricular activities. So let's connect extracurricular activities to supplement that. So why is extracurricular activities important? Because first, you must list 10 solid extracurricular activities in your college application. Most high-achieving students will have additional information section to highlight their involvement. All right. And college supplemental essays are evidence-based essay, where you would provide evidence when writing response. All right. And if you don't have compelling extracurricular activities, your application will look very generic and disingenuous. All right. So again, opportunities like USELC internship will give you great opportunity for you to boost your application, because there are so many things you can do through this internship. All right. And the reason why you need to involve in extracurricular activities is because it helps you personalize your essays and allows students to share unique experiences that reflect their values and goals. Right? And the next thing, involvement in activities provides a concrete example of skills like teamwork, leadership, addressing specific qualities sought by colleges. All right. All right. So now let's talk about how USELC can help. All right. After all, this is the reason why we are here today, right? So whether you guys are encouraged by your parents to come, or you guys decided to come here, what can we do? What will you gain from this opportunity? All right. And also, let's look for specific ways that this program could help you stand out. So every time I come to this meeting, I notice that students are very passive. Meaning, you guys eat, you guys talk to your friends, and then even when guests are here, you guys are just talking to yourself. But I think it's really a waste of opportunity. All right. And again, I will give you very specific examples of how you could utilize this opportunity to make an application. Contributing writer for USELC newsletter. Do you guys know we have a newsletter? Yeah, it's been running last 4 years. So if you are passionate about writing, if you're passionate about public policy, political science, or journalism, you guys could join as a writer. All right. And guess what? That's something that you could include in your college application, right? Yeah, volunteering to manage the USELC social media channel. So we have social media channel, and it's not that active right now. But if you are a communication, business marketing major, maybe why not take on this opportunity, right? And try to increase traction, and try to increase followers, for example, right? And volunteering as a fundraising campaign manager. So as you know, we offer scholarship to 6 to 8 students, right? And let's say you guys did fundraising inside, outside of USELC, and you guys were able to raise, let's say, $5,000, even $3,000. That's another scholarship to 3 other students, right? So why not? Why not plan that with the people, students, friends you met through USELC, right? And starting a passion project with other students who share the same academic interests: business, political science, journalism, STEM, English. So you guys are all from different schools. So I noticed that some of you are from Northern Valley, Foley High School, Riverdale, Ridgewood, Cresco, Palisade Park, BCA, Bergen Tech. And if you find students who are passionate about STEM, why don't you guys get together and talk about it? Why don't you create a community and invite your friends? So for example, let's say, what's your name? Josh. Let's say Josh is interested in STEM, and let's say he came up with this idea of creating inter-school STEM club, combining 6 schools from USELC. And then those 6 members, let's say they invited 10 people. All right, how many members is that now? 6. That's community, right? With that club, you could look for places where you guys could do outreach. So places like Patterson, for example, places like York, for example, you guys could run a virtual, summer program, virtual STEM course, for example, all right, and continue to do that until, until the end of senior year, for example. Likewise, if you guys are interested in political science, again, why don't you guys think about starting a podcast, right? So potentially, I wrote it here, right? So potentially running podcasts where you interview our monthly guests and to continue to expand on. So one of my students actually, she goes to high school in New York City. She was passionate about environmental science, environmental engineering. So for 6 months, she's been writing articles, right? And she had about 20, 30 articles. And after 6 months, I challenged her, why don't we reach out to professors at NYU Columbia to see if they're interested in doing an interview, thereby providing resources, opportunities where students in other countries, third world country, can have access to, right? And guess what? She was able to secure 1 professor from Columbia, and after that, guess what? That professor referred another professor, and then the other professor referred another professor. And she's a junior right now, she's a rising senior. So far, she had interviewed over 40 professors from Columbia and NYU. And guess what? I told her, hey, you go to, top private school in New York City, you get all these opportunity resources, but what about these people who are in different countries, third world countries? Can we provide same kind of opportunity? So what we did was we created summer program, 3-day summer program, 1 in July, 1 in August. So we invited a professor from Columbia, and we also invited a few PhD students. And they were able to speak for about a few hours, and we had our students do presentation at the end of the program. So these are the kind of things you guys can collaborate and work together. Because if you look at it, you guys are all from top high school in Bergen County, and there's so many opportunities you guys can create. There's so many synergies you guys can create. But again, a lot of times you guys are thinking this as obligation. Oh, I have to do this because I need to get served as president of the board. But if you just, if you're at that, level, this is going to be painful, torture to come here every month. All right. So since you guys have a lot of people helping you, and you guys have amazing students come here, because I see all of you guys are very determined, high achieving. Why don't you work together? All right. Why don't you guys collaborate together? All right. Because I'll be talking about this later, but what colleges are looking for, they're looking for students beyond strong metrics meaning strong GPA and SAT score. All right. They want students who are making impact, risk taker. All right. and also they're looking for students who are change makers, doers. All right. So again, this is a great platform for you guys to start something. All right. More challenging, engaging, and impactful. Because again, I'm telling you, whether you're from Bergen Tech, Ridgewood, BCA, by the end of junior year, your GPA and SAT is going to be pretty much similar. Right? I work with students from Stuyvesant, Bronx, Bergen Tech, really top public school and high school in New York City, Trinity, Horace Mann. You know what? By the end of junior year, pretty much all Asian American students, they have the same exact GPA SAT score. So even if you're valedictorian, you cannot stand out. And what colleges are looking for is your impact. All right, whether you're a civic servant, that someone who is serving your community, whether it's in school, your town, outside of school, and I think that's very, very important. And the main goal of USELC is helping you become impactful leaders. All right, so through doing a lot of debates, public speaking, working on essays, we will intellectually challenge you. All right, we're going to ask you to read a lot of different articles, not just in something you guys are comfortable with, but whether it's criminal justice, whether it's something related to immigration law, whether it's something related to public policy. Through this USC program, we're going to ask you to be uncomfortable, all right? Because you cannot do comfortable things and expect yourself to stand out, right? So by doing this, it's going to help you improve your critical thinking skill. And through debates, through presentation, it will definitely help you become a better public speaking person, all right? And as Ron mentioned before, you will have a tremendous amount of opportunity for you to network, all right? And sometimes I come here and I'm like, wow, I mean, dude, are these people real? I mean, are they really here for USELC meeting? Because I mean, these are very busy individuals. You know what I mean? I don't know how they invite these individuals, but I'm speechless sometimes. Wow. All right. And guess what? You guys should take advantage of this great, events. Right? This is a place where you could connect with this individual, especially if you guys are pursuing social science, public policy, political science. I mean, you have to be aggressive. All right, we'll talk to them. All right, I know a few students from USC already start their internship after freshman. They started their internship from a similar's office from sophomore. And guess what? This is their third year doing internship. So collaboration, working with others. This is very, very important. Again, you can never stand out academically. So if you are, for example, national math Olympiad, right, a champion, for example. I have a student who is top 5 of Bio Olympiad. He lives in Florida. Students like that could stand out, right? Because you're top 5 in the US, right? But if you're not, I mean, whether, again, you're from any school in Bergen County, you can never stand out. 50 SAT, 600 SAT, okay, so what? That's what everybody has, right? So what I'm trying to say is you need to focus your energy and time on being impactful leaders. All right? And networking, I talked about it. All right? Initiative, I talked about it. All right? And most importantly, we will encourage you to become a civic leaders. All right? Someone who looks out for your school, your community. All right? And the ultimate goal of USELC, this is something you can find on our website. All right? It says, we want to inspire you to become a civic servant, who helps our community and beyond. Our goal is to empower you to be a leader who takes action and makes positive impact in your community and those around you. This is our mission statement. This is something you can find on our website. And why do we emphasize this? Well, this has direct connection with what top school is looking for. let's look at this actual essay prompt. Let's look at the first one. All right. We, as long-standing commitment to service and civic engagement, tell us how your story intersect with these ideals. Do you know which school's essay prompt is? Anyone? Edward? Anyone? Yeah, first one. No. Princeton. Anyone wants to go to Princeton? If your dream school is Princeton, I mean, you have to be able to answer this. If you volunteer 3 hours at the hospital at Inglewood and expect to answer this prompt, no, you can't. All right, but let's say again, you created this club through USELC and you began doing outreach program to other marginalized communities, whether it's Patterson, New York, West New York, you can definitely answer this prompt. Right? Now let's look at this one. Reflect on your membership community, which you feel connected. Why is this community meaningful to you? You may define community however you like. Which is home. Second. Alright. Now let's look at this one. Please describe the aspect of your life experience, interest, character you would make distinctive contribution as an undergrad. Yale. Alright, describe you have collaborated with others to learn from, with them, contribute to your community together. MIT. And what about this? This is UC. So UC, Berkeley, UC, LA. So if you look at these essay prompts, they're trying to give you a hint, signal. All right. The top school, they never ask you whether you have a strong GPA, strong strong GPA or SAT score. These are the things they ask you in your college application. And guess what? This is real. All right. This is real. And you have to write 400, 500, sometimes 650 essays based off this essay prompt. And if you haven't done anything for your community, for your town, for your school, then obviously you can never answer these prompts in a compelling way. Right? So I want to end my presentation today by challenging you. All right? I encourage you guys to step out of your comfort zone. All right, going to school, going to SAT 1. That's what we do most of the time, right? But that's not enough. Look for ways to make impact, whether it's through your school, your town, your community. All right, top schools are looking for risk taker. All right, change maker, doers, leaders, collaborators, civic servants, those who take initiative and make things happen. I have a lot of students who have perfect GPA, perfect SAT, got flat rejection from top school. But sometimes I had students where their GPA is around like B+, and they're within top 20%, but they have amazing, meaningful community impact service. If you have that, you could get into any school you want. And USELC, we will continue to encourage you guys to step out of the comfort zone. We are so used to, having our parents telling us what to do. But this is your life. Now is the time for you guys to seriously think about what you are passionate about and what you can do. Ask yourself what you can do for your community and how you can be an impactful civic servant. So I will give you 2 examples. So one of my students, he's interested in political science, public policy, and I noticed that he's been going to food banks to volunteer. He lives in Morris County. And I told him, do you like this volunteer activity? He said, yes, John, I love it. I love helping people. So I told him, you've been very passively going to food banks for 2 years. Why don't you take more ownership and start doing something more impactful? So we decided to start a nonprofit. All right. And then we connected with 9 food banks in his county. We called them, we emailed them, we asked them what they accept in terms of donation. So they accept canned food, non-perishable goods. So I challenged my students, why don't we do fundraising? Let's do fundraising, right? And I was like, John, I never did fundraising before. Well, yeah, this is going to be the first time doing fundraising. So we use GoFundMe to do fundraising. And we raised over $2,500. And second round, we raised $1,500. All right, and he started from his county, Morris County, but one of his best buddies from his school was very impressed about what he's doing, and he wanted to join. And he lives in Union County, and he decided to join the organization. And after that, I have a student at Bergen County, and he decided to join this organization. Now, his this nonprofit service project expanded to 6 counties in Jersey, and there are 21 counties in Jersey, and he already covered about 30%, more than 35%, and he's a rising senior right now. And we're looking to expand this to at least 10 counties, covering 50% of counties in Jersey, because in Jersey we have about 21 counties. And as a result, I actually nominated for New Jersey Governor's Volunteer Awards, and he was chosen to win that award. Second student who was passionate about law and English, and she didn't do anything impactful. And again, we were brainstorming about passion project idea, and I told her, why don't we start something more impactful? And she always liked to read and write, and she wanted to advocate young people to read and write. So in doing so, again, we started this project, and in the preparation process, I told her, if you just start on your own, no one's going to submit your essay to your organization, right? Because high school students are going to submit your essay. So we reach out to IBs, because every IB they have a publication company, and one IB responded and said, "Wow, this is amazing! I can't believe you're doing this as a junior year." So they began sponsoring organization and competition, and with that relationship, we leveraged that relationship to reach out to big publishing companies, and she ended up getting sponsorship from four publishing company, and she's been running this writing competition every year, twice a year. And I noticed that the last year, the students who won in her competition was from Princeton and UPenn. So who would have thought, students from Princeton and UPenn will submit this kind of competition, right? But what I'm saying is everything is possible, and your impact doesn't have to be in person. It could be virtual. All right. So what I'm trying to say is, again, you can never stand out academically. It's very, very difficult. But what top schools, top colleges are looking for, again, is people who are making an impact. All right. Whether it's in school, outside of school, your community, your town, that's what they're looking for. And this is a great place for you to start this. All right. Don't treat your friends like, oh, after this I'm not going to see Edward anymore. No. This is a great place for you to start something new, start something impactful. Don't treat your friends as a competitor. All right. Think of them as a collaborator. All right. Again, we have students from 10 different schools. Just imagine you guys create Asian American Civic Coalition. All right. And let's say each school you guys will lead to do something impactful for your school. I think that would be amazing. And if you could talk about that in your college and say, as long as you maintain like B+ average, you could get into any schools, I think. So again, I hope you guys will learn a lot through USELC, and you guys, I hope you guys will benefit as much as you can through this internship opportunity. Okay, thank you.